So at the ATS, we're presenting some data from a focus group study. It is more a qualitative sort of assessment of patients' attributes to their inhaler devices. So what we chose to do, and this is a pilot study for a larger quantitative study that we want to do on patient preference of inhaler delivery systems. So in the United States, we have patients with symptomatic asthma and COPD are often on combination medications delivered through different platforms, including the metered-dose inhaler, dry powder inhaler, and soft mist inhaler. And so we wanted to know what are some attributes that patients look for on a drug that they take by inhaler delivery. So what we performed, we did 5 focus groups in 2 cities in the US, one in New York, one in Chicago, and on 2 groups of patients, group of asthma patients and group of COPD. These patients had to have symptoms, so they had to be symptomatic, and they had to have used combination inhaler devices. So there are a set of questions that we asked them, and we actually, through qualitative analysis of the responses, we were able to come up with a set of medication-related but non-medication-related attributes that they felt were important. The top one was effectiveness of the medication. Both COPD and asthma patients thought effectiveness of the medication was the first attribute they looked for, more so in COPD than asthma. Well, what's interesting, the second one is the convenience of use, which includes the device itself, the need for maintenance of the device, the cost, all these. So there were subgroup belonging to that, but convenience of use was important for both groups as well. Even though 97% of our patients had health insurance, yet a significant number of patients thought that the cost, even the cost that they have to pay, the co-pays they have to pay, was an issue. So cost plays in an equation also when it comes to the patient's perception or attributes of inhaled devices. So we're going to use these data now to do a larger study in multiple other cities in the US to do a more quantitative analysis of the patient preference in using inhaler devices. I think it helps us in the scientific community, target or at least use these attributes to maybe, hopefully in the future, to come up with newer devices that patients like better, or at least improve on certain aspects so that we can improve their adherence, but also use of these devices. So I think it also helps the pharmaceutical industry, and this study is actually funded by AstraZeneca, to understand more about why inhaled delivery devices are important, which one are sort of preferred by patients, if so. Right now we don't know. There are so many of them out there, and we need to know more from the patient's perspective.